EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the keeper of the light sounds the fog bell to signal that it is indeed time for football inside Gillette Stadium. Today, a fun matchup in the AFC East, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And we are underway in Foxborough. Been able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by the former Texas Longhorn, their rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment, running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Under pressure, they got him again. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
A miserable start here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and very long. They'll set up to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. What a great job getting pressure here on the first drive. 3 plays and already 2 sacks.
And that pressure has been intense right from the beginning. And I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment in play calling and protection, it'll go from intense to relentless.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Jones on the return. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they go play action with May. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's May. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat, like the guys in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Micah Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, let's see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Here's Achane to start the drive. Dances by him. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
The tackle made by Caleb Chason.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Achane. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
2nd and 10. Got him there. It's Kayshon Boutte. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
On first down, it's Henderson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tyrell Dotson there on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. May. That's complete. Demario Douglas with it. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line.
14 yards.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They run once more with Henderson. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now May on the sneak. And he will have a Patriots first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try to get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24. May going to give it to Henderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To the air, May. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
For the Patriots field goal, a 43-yard attempt.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Looking to put a drive together. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now he'll tuck this and run. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's 2nd and 10. In motion is Westbrook-Akina. Up the middle, Achane. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Here's 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Chason, the former first-rounder, in there to get the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Patriots take over. New England trying to get a place on offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll throw with May. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing here is May. Quick hitch, complete. It's Henderson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Hunter Henry brings it in. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
1st and 10 at the 37.
Good work there. You're going to see on play action, they run an out route with the receiver on the outside and let the tight end work the seam in the area beyond him. A great concept, and it leads to a first down.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 37-yard line. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's May. A quick throw there is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. The tight end Henry here in motion. From the gun on third down, it's May. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Patriots, first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Brings up second and
well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd and 9 now. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3.
A 42-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. Well, good start for him in this one here in the first quarter, and he's now 2 for 2 on field goals.
And I know while the offensive coaches are telling their guys, hey, let's leave the kicker out of it unless it's an extra point, this could pay dividends if this game is tight down the stretch. His confidence is going to be sky high if they need him for a big-time kick.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kicks are away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Looking to put a drive together. They go play action here on first down. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
It's a gain of 16
We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver, Really good completion.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks are starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They'll run for it. It's Gordon. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 6-0 our score after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it 2nd down and 12. They'll drop to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. They'll set up a throw. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's good for a Dolphins 1st down. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run. Achane. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Washington in motion left.
Now they'll fake the jet sweep here and throw out play action. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's caught. Waddle on the left side.
10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Patterson's kick is good.
And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
Well, this is a football game, right?
It is.
You like that one, huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
A little juke.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. New England's offense set to go.
Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
A carry by Henderson to start the drive.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Again, it's Henderson. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's going to have the Patriots first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
A give for Henderson running to the right. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4.
The tight end Henry here in motion.
On play action, May.
Going deep for Diggs. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 53 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now Andres Borregales for the extra point.
And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Miami set to take over. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A short one here secured by the tight end, Waller. No gain on the play. And that will bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Caleb Chason able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Back to throw. Over the middle and complete to Waddle.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be a third and about 13.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll set up to throw. Throw right side going to be caught by Waddle. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
To throw, it's May.
He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got it with the 15. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for New England. 72 yards.
First down and goal to go.
That's how you flip field position. What a play right there. That nearly went the distance. Credit this defense for not giving up. They get him down just short of the goal line, but the damage is done. It's going to be 1st and goal from a...
That he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Patriots are able to widen their advantage. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Dolphins offense returning to the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Patriots offense and Drake May headed back onto the field. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
A gain of 6.
It's a pickup of 6.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's a toss to Henderson, headed right. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 58 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaken up on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. May. Over the middle, complete. That's Douglas. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action.
That's another Patriots first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Gets this complete to Butte.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Henderson running straight ahead.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
That's good for a Patriots first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Right back to Henderson on 1st down. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Again, it's Henderson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Gain of 8. And the Patriots first down.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
To the air, May. There's Henry. Touchdown, Patriots.
A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Patriots are able to add on to their first half lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
The extra point now for Borregales.
And the lead is now 24. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Hand off to HN to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And now another one thrown incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Dolphins have got it.
And I'm not sure if he got a little sloppy with his mechanics or just put too much juice on the snap, but either way, this one ends up out of the punter's reach, and now it's up to their defense to bail them out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Harold Landry. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now back to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's Jake Bailey now. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Patriots offense and their running back getting set to go once more. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And pass complete. Here's Butte with it.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
2nd and 5. Here's May. Out route, and this is Henry with a catch.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 42. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
10 at the 42-yard line.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Douglas. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. In motion, the tight end. They'll throw with May. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Hunter Henry with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Patriots will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Borregales now for the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a New England touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. Second down and a yard. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Washington. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the 1st half. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen here, and you never know what you're going to get in the NFL. Sometimes it goes down to the wire. Other times, it's blowout city, like what this game is shaping up to be. But hey, anything can happen, so let's go to the second half. Send it back out to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scotty, thank you as always. Well, likely 2 very different halftime speeches by these head coaches, that's for sure, as we get set for half number 2. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, if they score here, this one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now. And I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short. Could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Throwing here is May. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated?
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. The Patriots send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Fielded at the 33. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he can't escape, and down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Henderson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 109 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Once again, it's Henderson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. To the right side, this is Henderson. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
3rd and 8. They'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Patriots 1st down. 1st and 10.
This is just more of the same. This defense, has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up, and what's been so far a tough game for them. Throw right side going to be taken in by Henderson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
A partner still in the 3rd quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the 4th quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. A quick hitter complete. It's Henry. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
17 yards.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Here's Stevenson. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
At the 8-yard line.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. May going to give it to Henderson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room. Sprint him out to one side.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
On 4th down, out comes Andres Borregales for the Patriot field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that, because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away.
stopped up at the 25.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Looking to put a drive together.
The drive starts with a run from HN.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll set up the throw.
That is caught downfield. It's Waller.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a first down.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 5. Over the middle and complete to Waddle.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 24-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
A gain of 14. First down, Dolphins.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. I mean, I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game. It comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's H.M.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away.
Patterson's kick is good.
And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run once more with Henderson. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 118 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
To throw, it's May. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Patriots first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll check this down to Henderson out of the backfield. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
On the draw, it's Henderson. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. At this point in the game, and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. Marcus Jones just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up.
We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
At the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Douglas, the man in motion.
And they'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play there.
Second down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
It's a gain of 14
They call his
yards.
number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
And able to work his way down to the 16.
127 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And the Patriots are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
And they go play action now. May.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
A 27-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. It's a big play there for Miami. 57 yards.
First down. 1st and goal, Miami.
They'll run. Achane. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
Setting up a screen for Stevenson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all, because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Harold Landry able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. He'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. Standing just outside his own goal line. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Patriots take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. And you've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots.
Ramondre Stevenson.
A 16-yard touchdown run.
And the Patriots have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the fourth. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they've wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they've wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Waddle, the motion man, right.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So 8 yards on the completion there. And they'll be left with second and a couple.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Achane gets it from the gun.
And he's got this down to the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 35-yard line. Back to throw here. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be second down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Second and 5. And that one too wide and incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline.
And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up fourth down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Looking to put a drive together.
It's Stevenson with a run to begin the drive.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now May on the sneak. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Patriots first down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Up the middle, here's Stevenson.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
They'll throw with May. Gets this complete to Brute.
83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On the counter, it's Stevenson.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line.
And there defensively was Jack Jones.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 9. To the air, May. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
That'll give them 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And he'll have the Dolphins 1st down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line.
They'll look to throw. Throw caught by Achane. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
He'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2nd down and 4. Again, it's Achane. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A 10-yard pickup. And it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
Now he's going to step up and run, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest game we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting, but obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.